Hey, what's up guys? I'm Sean with Amsteelle Overland, and today we're going to be installing the Westcott Design Ladder on our 2021 4Runner. So stick around, check it out, see how we get it done. And I'm also going to show you guys probably a way to lose a little bit of weight off this thing, because I mean, it's pretty light, but at the same time, you can use a little bit of weight lost off of it. So I'm going to show you that now. Here it is right here. The Westcott Design Ladder. Just give you a little bit of a kind of a walk through here. They do have these bottle cap openers on either side. It's a really sturdy design. You know, these things can hold a lot of weight, and it's really great. It's the same thing that we built our roof rack out of, and I will show you a just a quick video of that really quick, just to kind of so you can get an idea. But it's all made out of the same aluminum here. So my plan to lose a little bit of weight is to actually take, and this outer piece right here, you can see that, it doesn't really serve any purpose for structurability. You know, obviously it could make it just a little bit sturdier, obviously, but at the same time, that's adding more weight to this ladder. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to haul around more weight than I have to. You know, just an example here, you know, we're still working on our camp box right here. This is just a prototype design. And that weighs enough as it is. And then we have the rooftop tent as well, to go on top of that. And so the plan is to just lose as much weight as possible. So basically I'm just going to take off this outer shell here. And I mean, yeah, it's not gonna, you know, be as flush as they designed it to be. You know, this part here that comes on top of the hatch, this will still stick out, but just to get a little close up here, you can see here that it's not like it's, you know, sharp or anything. So basically I'm just going to take that off, and that'll probably lose about 3 to 4 pounds to each side, and yeah, I think we'll be good to go. So let's get to it. Just on the end over here, so where these bolt together, unlike the screws here, they go straight into where your steps are, and these bolts will go straight through. And you can see with just one of them here, they're pretty long. So I'm actually going to test this out first before I start cutting any bolts, even though I know that it'll work. But most likely, if you were to copy the same thing that I'm doing, which most of you probably won't, because you're probably not really worried too much about weight, but like I said, every pound counts in my opinion, because 4Runners suck at MPG to begin with. So every pound counts. So I'll probably just end up cutting a little bit off the end of the bolt, just to you know, make it so where right here where it connects together, you're not hitting your leg or your foot or something on it. You know, I got 2 kids, so I already know. And this is just a helpful tip as well, for people that don't know. Whenever you're screwing something or unscrewing from anything that is aluminum, and the aluminum has the threads threaded into it, such as these steps here, you want to be extra careful, especially if you're using an impact gun like I am. I mean, I'm just used to doing it. I've had a lot of experience with it, so good and bad experience. You know, when you drive them up and are taking them out, you don't want to sit there and really lay down on the trigger. You want to, you know, kind of give it a little bit at a time. What I'll do is I'll drive these up just until it clicks, just like that. I'm not forcing it in by any means. I'm just saving my time so I don't have to do so much by hand. And then I'll come back with a wrench and hand torque them in. That way I make sure I don't strip them. All right, so as you can see, I'll give you guys a closer look here. As you can see here, already, you know, it's still pretty flush. The only thing that sticks out is right here versus this side over here, right? And just to kind of give you a little view so you can view it from up top, it's really not that bad. And what I'll end up doing is I will end up taking and actually putting I will end up taking and putting this bottle cap opener right back on here. And what I'll probably have to end up doing is, again, I'll probably just have to end up trimming the bolts just a little bit. As you can see right there, you know, they stick out just past it, and that's okay. So what I'll do is I will take, oops. I will end up taking and putting them through here. And I didn't realize it at first, but these screws right here, they actually screw into here. So I can do one of two things. I can either, which I have some, I can either use a bigger screw and put it in there and drill the hole out, or just tap the hole and that way I can screw it right in there. Or I can just put a nut on the other side, and I might do that too, as you can see right here. So, you know, they do stick out a little bit. So I will figure out one thing that I'm gonna do and kind of go from there. Honestly, I'm not really too worried about it. Like I said before, I will never use this thing. So I'm gonna set that aside for right now. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna take and do the same thing to the other side here. Look here. All right, so as you can see there, it's really not that bad. You know, obviously it's not flush like it was before, but just looking at it there, you can see, and even at the bottom, it becomes flush, right? And I can tell you now that picking this up, I can already tell you there that thing weighs at a minimum 6 pounds lighter. And we're actually going to get a scale and measure this here to see how much weight I actually took off of it. Another reason I wanted to take more weight off of it, because I'm a plan on mounting, you know, obviously propane on the side, and probably a few other things as well. So that's going to obviously add more weight. So if I could take an extra 6-7 pounds off, then that's an extra, you know, 6-7 pounds that I can use towards something else. So, all right, we're gonna go over here to the 4Runner and kind of dry fit this to see where we go. Cool. All right, guys, so you can see here, it's right at 15 pounds. I know it's blurry, my apologies. There we go, you can see it a little bit better now. It's right at 15 pounds. It honestly, you would really never recognize this thing if you didn't watch this video. You would never know. And it creates a little bit slimmer design. You know, we lost, you know, just under 5 pounds. So I'm happy with that. So we're gonna go dry fit it right now. All right, so we got this on, just you know, test fitting it. You have to take off, from what I can tell, you have to take off these little bolts, which that's not an issue. And then you're able to slide it up in here, okay? And those little bolts go right there where you. Okay, so as you guys are about to see in this clip here, I accidentally touched the 3M tape to the surface without getting it in the location where it was supposed to be first. So if you guys happen to do this, you can probably actually just go ahead and put it down, unlike I did, with the protective cover over the tape, so that way it doesn't actually touch. As you can see, it's kind of hard to get that 3M tape back off once it's touched. So you'll just leave that red cover you see there in this clip on the tape, and go ahead and put the plate down where it's supposed to be, and then you'll take and lift the plate up and then set it down into the location. Right, so I hope that little tip does help. Where it's generally supposed to go. So I'm actually going to take and kick it back just a hair, just a little bit, so where it doesn't really want to touch the back side right there. Right about there. And the bottom pieces, they actually don't end up touching anything. So I probably won't even worry about leaving them on, honestly. So pretty much the way you do this is you end up setting this on top here. And then I'll bring y'all in closer here just a sec, but it wraps around your lip of your hinge right here, or your hatch, I'm sorry. So all you gotta do is, at the bottom piece it has 2 holes you have to screw. At your bottom piece it has 2 holes you're supposed to screw in here. You have to drill 2 holes through your hatch at the bottom. I'm not too crazy about the idea, but you know, that's what you have to do to make this mount. So at the bottom of your hatch, and I'll move y'all in closer so you can see, at the bottom of the hatch here, all you gotta do is just take this little handle out, and all you do is just pull down and then push up to make it unclip. It has these little clips. I don't know if y'all can see that right there. So it's not very hard to get to. So basically all you gotta do is drill 2 holes at the bottom of here, all right? And then there's a plate, and I'll show you here in a second, that goes right here up on the back. And then the 2 bolts go through here and bracket onto that plate. And that's what sandwiches it together and keeps it from coming off. It holds everything together. So let's get started with that. Just to give you a quick show right here. Not sure if y'all can see this real good or not, but this little rubber piece right here, this will end up going right on the bottom of your hatch. Now, preferably, if you want to have your, hatch and everything cleaned off beforehand, that way, you're not getting dirt and stuff stuck up in there. But as you can see right here, this will go right up on the bottom, and what that does is just protects your hatch because the ladder is actually going to be sitting right up against that. So that's just an extra added layer of protection that they actually provide with the ladder, which is really nice. Here is the bracket piece, and just to show you really quick, that'll actually slide right up in here just like so and push right up into the back. So it'll be sitting right up here, or generally right there anyway, on the other side. Okay, and just to show you here, so when you take this bracket out, you'll see that it comes with these golden bolts here, and they actually are attached when you take this out of the packaging. However, to have everything match so that I don't have these, because you'll actually see these at the bottom of your hatch when you open it, which isn't a big deal, but I thought to myself, just to have everything match, I'm going to use these black flush mount bolts right here that it came with, that held the other outer part of the ladder together, and they actually fit in here as well. They are the exact same size, so they're the same bolt as the rest of the ladder. So instead of having these, obviously you could probably torque these down just a little bit tighter, but honestly these should hold just as well. So that's what I'm going to use. So in this clip right here, I am just taking and reinstalling the 2 small screws that were located in the bracket that mounts up top on the very top of the hatch, and just installing those back in again. So nice and easily, with watching what I'm doing, trying not to scratch anything, just going to take and put this over here like so, line it up, put your screws in there. Try this one more time. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So those of you, I don't know if you can see me in the camera right now. Anyway, those of you having trouble getting this on, if you do have trouble getting it on, if you turn the bolt at an angle, it's easier to get it up on there. So they say it's supposed to be about 4.5 inches from where the your little water drain is. So I'll measure about 4.5 inches, and I'll put it, which brings you to roughly the outer edge of your handle here. So about right there. All right. So I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but if you look up at your hatch, you'll see where there's a little hole where water can drain out if water gets into your hatch. All right, so measure 4.5 inches over from there. And I'm actually gonna move this over a little bit. Okay. And it's 4.5 inches to the outside of the ladder. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna take, because you can't actually put the bolts back in with it the way it is, with these attached. So I'm just gonna take these apart as well, and the plate, on the bottom plate, just take the screws out. And then we'll put them back in after we have it all back together. When you do this, you can see you have these little pieces right here, okay? That's what holds your bottom bracket on. The screw goes through there, and it's kind of like a nut on the other side. So you've got to make sure to line that back up when you take it apart. So I'll just put these back together on here. And again, all I'm doing is just putting everything back together, and we'll tighten it all up at the end. You can see how easily this goes up by itself, all by itself. But if we were to have that extra, what was it, 4.5, 5 pounds on this, it probably would be, you know, staying right here. You'd have to push it up manually. Okay. Now, I'm just going to line this up here as best as I can. See, this is all fairly simple. There's nothing hard about this. The only thing is just, you know, doing things with one hand. But as far as the install goes, the install is extremely straightforward. Everything is already put together for you, which is nice when you get it out the box. So you don't have to worry about putting the entire ladder together. So that's pretty much it right there. I'll finish putting up these bolts right here and then show you guys once I start drilling these holes. All right, so got the plate back on here. Now we're gonna get ready to drill holes. If you don't have one of these little punches right here, all it does, for those of you that don't know, is it just creates a little bit of a hole just for your drill bit to get started. So that way your drill bit's less likely to slip and slide everywhere when you're trying to drill a hole. You can get these at Harbor Freight for like, I don't know, $3 or $4. So I personally use it all the time. That is pretty much it. And to give you a little bit better view. And I mean, you can see, I mean, well, it's still loose up top. I still got to tighten those down, but I mean, the thing is super sturdy. So I'm going to go on up top, tighten those down, and remove all this tape and everything, and we're going to be good to go. So just a helpful tip for you guys that are installing this ladder. If you look to the top of this bracket and you see that big open hole, you can actually fit your wrench through that hole, and you're able to tighten down the nuts on the back side of that bolt a whole lot easier than putting your hand down in that tight space. Alright, so just gonna do a quick run through real quick. I got everything rebolted up, and everything's all bolted up up top. You can see here, and you can even see I tested it out. Just finishing up, tightening my stairs back up. The bottle cap openers, as you can see here, I just ended up bolting them to it. They really don't stick out far at all. You know, it's not like a super big deal. And I'm not really too worried about it, you know, catching my foot or anything. It's not really sharp or anything like that. So I just bolted them there with some lock washers. Honestly, it pretty much looks exactly the same for the most part, minus the outer bar. I did test it. I just took the outer bars and I just stuck them right on top, and I opened the tailgate. And the hatch did struggle a little bit more. I will say, you had to actually push it all the way up to actually show, or for it to actually, you know, stay open. Otherwise, it just kind of wanted to fall back down. So that extra 4.5 pounds really does make a difference. And that's what I wanted. I wanted mainly so I wouldn't have to replace my struts on here and put heavier duty ones on there, because that's just an extra added cost. So why do that? And you're saving, you know, a few pounds. It's not much, but you know, if you're adding an extra pound here, extra 5 pounds there, 10 here, 20 there, you know, it will add up. So, but overall, I'm happy. You know, and this thing is, I mean, you can see it. It's super strong. It's not going anywhere. I don't see any reason why someone can't get on here that weighs over 200 pounds. And especially with, you know, me and my family, it's going to suit us just fine. And just to do a quick little view, I'll show you really quick. So I'm going to open it up here, and I mean, yeah, it stops a little bit there, and you just, you know, can push it the rest of the way up. But for the most part, it stays where it's at. It didn't want to do that before. And we have just enough clearance in between, if you can see it there, in between the ladder and the roof rack. So it's just enough. And again, you know, this is the same flat bar that this is made out of. It's just wider. It's the same thing. Going to take and finish getting the steps all tightened back up. Just FYI, when you go to tighten these screws up right here, you want to make sure you do not over tighten them, because you will strip the holes in these steps if you decide to do the same thing that I did. Otherwise, you know, you just follow pretty much the exact same steps that I did. You know, you take your bottom plate off, put it down, and obviously, you know, it's probably just as easy to install the bracket up top, honestly, with the ladder. Maybe attach, I don't know, I didn't try it. I just followed the directions that they wanted to do. One thing I will show you guys really quick is something that I did kind of realize after the fact, but beforehand I was taking, sorry if it's a little bit blurry, I was trying to finagle the wrench up in here, but something I didn't realize until after the fact, you can actually take the wrench, and I'm going to try and get this at an angle so where you can see it, but you can actually take the wrench through this top hole here, and it will fit right on the nut perfectly, and you can sit there and hold it instead of having to go, you know, up under here. And it does work a little bit better trying to get the nuts on there too. But anyway, so I'm really hoping that this helped, guys. So I'm gonna finish freezing as the temperature drops out here. All in all, honestly, I'd say this all together takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. It just really all depends on how mechanically inclined you are. Yeah, it's a simple and super easy install, and I highly recommend so far the Westcott Design Ladder to anybody. So thanks guys for watching, and look out for some more install videos. There's going to be plenty more coming up. Also, we're going to do more videos of us, overlanding and camping and just out having fun. For those of you that don't know, we just partnered with IceCo, and we're doing a really big sale on them right now. Select models, you can get over $200 off right now. So please go check that out. We're having sales all the time. Make sure to follow us on social media, like us, and hope to see you guys again soon.